It's been a long time, but we got a new Red Eyes card. This card finally came to the TCG. Red Eyes Black Media Dragon. Honestly, this might be one of my favorite Red Eyes artworks. That is just, it's menacing. It's disgustingly beautiful. This past weekend I've been playing a lot of Red Eyes and playtesting with this card to see, you know, not only what it does, but what it synergizes well with in the Red Eyes archetype. Obviously, Red Eyes is in a really trash state right now. It's even worse than Cyber Dragons. We need some really good Red Eyes cards because it's fallen behind immensely. Dragoon is carrying the archetype. So if you actually want to play Red Eyes, the best thing to do is not even play Red Eyes. You just play Branded and you just throw Dragoon into the extra deck. That's the best way to play it, but it's not as fun because it's obviously not Red Eyes. So this is not an official deck tech. That'll come probably later in the week when I actually get all the cards, as these cards are coming in the mail. Let's get into it though. Red Eyes Black Meteor Dragon. You can send one level 5 or higher normal monster from your hand or deck to the graveyard, so i.e. Dark Magician or Red Eyes Black Dragon. Special summon this card from your hand, then increase its level by 1. That is important because that makes this card level 7, so we can still go into our rank 7 plays easily because that's what Red Eyes and I guess mostly all the Red Eyes cards are level 7, but it can help us more easily go into the rank 7 plays. But it's level 6, which is important because when it's in the deck, we can still use it off of Red Eyes Fusion to play Meteor Comet Dragon. I'm very excited to see that. You can also banish this card from your graveyard, except the turn it was sent there, and you can add a Red Eyes Fusion from either your deck or graveyard to your hand. This is great because recycling the Red Eyes Fusion is awesome. This helps with Dragoon. If you have Dragoon out, you're already giving it free materials, but it's also important too because we can potentially run less Red Eyes Fusions in the deck, which gives us more space to run other things per se. I'm still not entirely sure if one Red Eyes Fusion will suffice or not, but I'm still running 3 because the card's just so important. Moving on to the rest of the deck, got Dark Magician, 3 Red Eyes Black Dragon, 1 Darkness Metal. I just really like this card, and later in the game it's really impactful because you can continually get more dragons from your graveyard. And I guess the other thing too is with Red Eyes Soul, you can actually just special summon it, which is crazy. You can also search it off with Black Metal. You can also summon Darkness Metal pretty easily too. You just gotta banish 1 dragon on the field and everything we got is dragons. I am running 1 alternative dragon. I just like this card a lot. It's cool, it's fun, but it's not like amazing, so this card could probably get cut for something a little more meta. Basically, you tribute to Red Eyes, you put this on the field, and it's just another Red Eyes. However, the super spicy thing with this card is if it's destroyed by battle or is basically if it's destroyed by your opponent at all, you get to summon a Red Eyes from your graveyard, and its attack is doubled. Oh, spicy. And considering the fact that we're playing Inferno Fire Blast, that's 48,000 damage right there. You win the game. Red Eye Soul was the other support we got a little while ago. It's not the best, but it's not that bad either. Whenever your opponent special summons a monster, you send this from a hand or field to the graveyard. Special summon a Red Eyes monster from your hand or deck. Spicy. This is not, it doesn't say quick effect, but it almost is because you can use it on your opponent's turn. I guess, is it even considered an effect then? I'm not exactly sure in the technical play with this, but you can do it when your opponent does something on their turn. Also, once per tool, you can target 1 Red Eyes Black Dragon you control and inflict damage to your opponent equal to the monster's original attack. Oh, that's spicy. This card's always going to give you at least 900 damage, but it could be 24 and it could be up to 4,800 damage, so pretty spicy. Definitely need 3 of those in the deck. Playing 1 Bestial Baldray because it's kind of like a hand trap. It's actually really fitting for the deck as well. It's a rank 6, so we can use it to go into Meteor Black Dragon. We can target Light or Dark in either graveyard, banish if we do, we get special summon this for all free. But the key thing is if your opponent special summons a Ritual, Fusion, Synchro, any extra deck monster, we can tribute 1 other Light or Dark monster, then target 1 of those special summon monsters and just banish it. Red Eyes doesn't really have that built-in tech to the deck, so just adding something like this I thought was pretty handy. We'll see how it goes. I think obviously adding the other Bestial stuff is probably better, but I didn't want to, you know, again, impact the Red Eye stuff too intensely, but also I want to be realistic and make the deck actually pretty good and playable because losing games isn't fun. Obviously, we just went over the new card, running 3 because there's no reason to not run 3 of this. I think it's great. 3 Ash Blossom, you need some sort of disruption against our opponent. I also did throw in 2 Effect Veiler. I don't know what this deck needs, but it needs ways of disrupting the opponent, and I don't know if it's through board breakers or hand traps, but you need something, and Ash Blossom is just pretty versatile. Playing 3 Black Metal, this card is great because you can just send it right to the graveyard with your Pisky Dragon, and you get to add any Red Eyes card from your deck to your hand. Could be monster, could be spell, could be trap, anything. Really good card, helps you find all your puzzle pieces, and again, you can easily get that card into the graveyard with Dragon Guard Pisky Dude. The only thing that stinks though is if you obviously play the Black Metal, then you go into Pisky, you can't play Red Eyes Fusion because you can't summon any other monsters the turn this is activated, which is really hard. Or not hard, it's really annoying. So I added 2 effect value, yeah, just more disruption. Change Your Heart, love the card. Harpy is just more disruption. Inferno Fire Blast for some spice. I think Red Eyes could be a really good burn deck. It's just burn's not super meta in a sense, and you need to have a board already set up in order for this to be really good. So running 1 Inferno Fire Blast kind of makes it so when you draw the card, it's almost always live. However, I don't want to start this in my hand. I don't want to be in a situation where I have multiple copies in my hand and no targets, and you need to have other plays and disruptions and stuff, and it's just how it is. Running 1 for 1 because it works pretty well in this deck to get rid of any kind of red eyes card in your hand. Mostly the bricks that we're playing, get those out of the hand and get the black metal onto the field. Playing 3 red eyes fusion because playing Dragoon is the most powerful thing this deck can do. So I really want to start this in my hand and have some follow-up play with some backup. Definitely 3 is debatable now because we do have other ways of getting it. Black Meteor Dragon dude gets it. We got Black Metal Dragon. Red Eyes Insight also gets it. So running 3 might seem almost a little bricky, but again, we'll see. 3 Red Eyes Insight, just insane card. No reason to not play 3. You get to dump a Red Eyes into the graveyard, then you get a Speller, Red Eyes Speller Trap to your hand. Really good value. Got 2 Return to the Dragon Lords. We get to target 1 level 7 or 8 dragon monster from graveyard, special summon it. Basically a monster reborn for our dragons. And if a dragon monster we control would be destroyed by battle or card effect, we can banish this card from our graveyard instead. So a nice way to protect our dragons. Got Called by the Grave. We lose to Ash. So that's why I also threw in 3 cross-eyed designators. I'm going to try this card. Never actually really played with it before. But this deck absolutely loses to Ash. And what does every deck play in the game? Ash. If you get Ash and Red Eyes Fusion, you can't do anything that turn. There's absolutely nothing you can do. You can't summon monsters. I guess maybe you could play more trap cards and do that, but I don't want a situation where my Red Eyes Fusion gets ashed. So I'm going to be testing this out. Maybe I'll add some other cards too. On the topic of Cross-Eyed Designator, I am thinking about adding Dimensional Barrier to the deck too. 1 main board, definitely in the sideboard, because this card, you also will lose the game because if they flip this over when you activate Red Eyes Fusion, you can activate with play Dragoon. And if Dragoon is already on the field and they activate this, Dragoon's effect is going to be negated. So it's definitely a tough deck, and Dragoon definitely does carry the deck. Getting negated on your Red Eyes Fusion, yeah, that's not a good day. Or specifically getting ashed because the effect gets activated. 1 Dragon Nails. I like this card. You don't need more than 1, I don't think. I mean, it's very sad it's not searchable. It can make a dark monster kind of more invincible, and you can bring it back to the field. It's not bad. I wouldn't say it's amazing, but I don't think you need more than 1. It doesn't help you get to your plays. It just kind of helps you be a little more sticky. I think people are sleeping on Gravedigger's Trapple. I'm adding 2 to the deck. When your opponent activates a monster effect in their hand or graveyard, or when your opponent's banished monster's effect is activated, negate it. And if you do, inflict 2,000 points of damage to your opponent. There's a lot of effects getting activated in the hand, all of the hand traps. You got a lot of people playing in the graveyard, and sometimes even the banish zone. This card has a lot of targets for a lot of decks. And again, I want a lot of ways to make sure that people don't ash my Red Eyes Fusion, and this kind of just helps. But also the burn damage is sweet. Again, I think Red Eyes is a pretty good burn deck, and this 2,000 points of damage here, you got maybe 2,400 points of damage with your Red Eyes Soul. Got Infernal Fire Blast, like, you can just burn them away. But again, it's not like that consistent of a strategy, and it sounds better on paper, I'll say that, but getting a little bit of extra burn damage here and there, I definitely wouldn't underestimate that. Red Eyes Fang with Chain, I have to play this card because it's super cool. I don't think it's that amazing though. You can have one of your Red Eyes monsters make 2 attacks each battle phase, only on monsters though. Then you can do some weird thing where you like equip another Red Eyes to some other Red Eyes, and yeah, that, I don't know. It's not that bad, but it's not that amazing either. I wish this was a spell card, not a trap, because it being a trap doesn't really, I feel like, do too much unless I'm just playing the card wrong. But the card is definitely on archetype and on point, and it's fun. I wouldn't say it's amazing, but I'm still gonna throw it in the deck. Then 1 Return to Red Eyes. I like this card a lot because when it's good, it's really good. Like late game or mid game, and when you have Red Eyes cards in your graveyard, you can just keep getting them back, and just the plays are endless. However, this card doesn't really help us set up any plays initially. We already need things to be set up in a sense, if that makes sense. But also, if this card is destroyed by opponent's card effect, we get to bring a Red Eyes special summon it to our side of the field. So definitely a good card. I wouldn't say we need more than 1 because again, we can search it with Baby Metal or Black Metal. So this is the main deck. I think some things will change, but I think it's kind of spicy. Extra deck, Meteor, Comet, Dragon, thing spicy. You'd burn people too. 2 Dragoon because Dragoon's insane, you win the game. 2 Black Flare. Running some other rank 7s like Draco Sack. We got Big Eye. Got the Dark Doom Rider. Just some other cards. I'm putting this card in because it's so cool, but it's not that good. The Darkness Metal. Got Dark Charmer. Heretic Seal. I don't really play it that much, but you kind of could use it. Pisky. You definitely need at least 1 or 2 to get their Baby Metal or the Black Metals of the graveyard. Link Haribo and Anima, just some other Link ones. Some other cards I kind of wanted to bring up though is like the Malefic. I don't think is needed in this deck. Black Flare. Again, this card, I want to acknowledge all the other Red Eyes cards and why I'm not playing them, but They may not be that bad, but they're not good enough where I think I'm gonna throw them in the deck. I do want to briefly talk about Blackstone Legend. I originally had this card in the deck, and I don't think it's terrible, but I had to cut something, and I think this was it. It's kind of like Black Metal. You can tribute this card, and then you special summon, you know, level 7 lower red eyes from your deck. But it's just, I think I gotta give this another shot. When I was playtesting with this card, it just didn't seem that good, but I don't know, because this is a card that's kind of good, but like Black Metal is almost a little better because it can hit spell and traps also. But this does special summon it. This is definitely debatable, but I have it not in the deck as of right now. The Skull Dragon dude, yeah, he's cool, but then I have to run, you know, summon skulls and stuff, and it's just more space in the deck, so I don't know if it was worth it. This is one of my favorite Red Eyes monsters, probably my favorite Red Eyes fusion, but then you need to run warrior monsters. This might work really good in a Red Eyes / DPE deck because you're also getting a lot more warrior monsters. Super cool card. Cool effect too. However, you only get a negate when something targets a card you control, and there's so many cards out there that, I mean, don't do that. So the card's definitely not bad, but I'm just saying it's not that good. And then you got to run some other warrior monsters in the deck and just more bricks. Cards of the redstone, I don't think this is really needed. We have other ways now, like Black Meteor Dragon, of getting the Red Eyes cards out of our hand, or Red Eyes Black Dragons out of the hand into the graveyard. I don't think we really need a card like this in the deck. Maybe like one, but I want to go more than one. D-Barrier, yeah, this card is needed if we are playing the Cross the Designator, obviously. I think definitely throw it in the sideboard, but probably one in the main just in case. Fusion Armament is also a new card I was considering. Now that I'm reading this card, I just realized it has to be in the graveyard. So Fusion Armament could be pretty good in this deck because it can be sending a lot of Red Eyes to the graveyard. Good way to get Dark Magician too. Fusion Deployment could also be a decent target, but then you're locked into fusions, and I don't think with this deck you really want that. But it's a card I was considering. Evenly Matched 2 is a great card because it's just a great board breaker, but also it's definitely a card that people are playing main deck, and with Cross that Designator we can actually, you know, make sure that doesn't go off or negate it. We're gonna hop in a bot game. I just want to quickly show you guys some maybe little things to do. So what's cool with this is we got Meteor Comet and we got Return of the Dragon Lord. So what we can do is we can activate Meteor Comet, send the Red Eyes, and okay, he's got Gamma, so let's ash that. I didn't know you could do that. We'll play our boy, then we'll play Return the Dragon Lord, get the Red Eyes, boom. Now they're both level 7s. Then we can go into, you know, any of our rank 7 plays. I guess we'll just do Draco Sack. Let's activate the effect. Let's send this to the graveyard, okay? And I guess not, so play that face down. Alright, so what we can do now is we can banish this from our graveyard, get our Red Eyes Fusion. Sweet, activate Red Eyes Fusion. Let's actually just play Dragoon so we can wipe away his board. Activate. Now let's use both of our effects. And I guess we can't because he got some cards, so let's destroy. Now that we have a Red Eyes monster, we can actually use this to special summon another Red Eyes card. Now he wants to destroy one of our Red Eyes cards, so we can banish that instead, protect it. Sweet. I guess it didn't really change the outcome of the game, but Return of Red Eyes with Dragoon works so well because they're gonna have a really hard time destroying Dragoon, and that kind of ensures that each turn we're at least getting one Red Eyes, or every single turn, even our opponent's turn, we're getting another Red Eyes card. A Red Eyes monster onto the field. Let's go ahead and wipe away their dudes. Looking at another hand really quick, let's see what we got here. Pretty solid hand, so we'll go ahead and activate your Red Eyes Insight. We'll pitch the... Let's actually send another one of those to the graveyard because then we can get another Red Eyes Fusion. Let's grab a Red Eyes Fusion. So we have a couple decisions here. Actually, we can go into Black Meteor. We're gonna get another Red Eyes in the graveyard. Then we could use Return of the Dragon Lords to summon it and then get into a rank 7 play. Or we go Red Eyes Fusion and not be too worried about Ash because we have Called by the Grave. So that's probably obviously the better option here. I guess just to show some other stuff instead of going right into Dragoon, let's do the Meteor Dragon. We'll send a Red Eyes to the graveyard and we'll send another one of those. Summon that. Let's activate the dude's effect. Send... I don't want to send the alternative dragon though. Or not the alternative. I don't want to send metal because I want to draw that. Then it just gets in some cheeky damage. Then we can activate Dragon Nails, attach it to this, get some bonus attack, and it's got some sort of indestructibility. We will play that face down. We can't special summon any other monsters, and we can't attack because if we went turn 1. So now it's our turn. What we can do is we can activate this. Let's send, Red Eyes, play that. Activate the Dragon Lords, bring the Red Eyes back. Oh man, he did something spicy. Well, that's unfortunate. Who even plays that card, bro? Come on. We can activate one of our dudes in the graveyard to get one of our Red Eyes Fusions, but because we did summon Black Meteor, obviously we can't play it. Oh, he hit us with a Mirror Force, bro. I feel like in a normal game mode, we probably would have lost just by that drowning Mirror Force or whatever that was. Big sad. So here, let's activate this. Let's just send something to the graveyard. Select an option. Wait, I don't want to discard. Oh, I guess it doesn't really matter, so we'll discard that. I guess we'll just grab another one. Black Meteor Dragon does give us some new capabilities. It does help us play Meteor Comet Dragon more easily, and we have the potential to probably play less Red Eyes Fusions, giving us our deck space some more options for either hand traps or board destruction. It definitely doesn't solve all the problems Red Eyes has. I think innately Red Eyes is just really weak right now. Return of the Dragon Lords I think is a lot better than I initially thought. It pairs very well with Black Meteor. This card's like 10 bucks right now though, so I only picked up one copy, but I think 2 or 3 might be worth it. I definitely need to do more testing, and I'm definitely not a pro player. So if you're playing Red Eyes and you kind of know your stuff, let me know down below what you've been rocking, what your deck tech's looking like. Also, what do you think of the new card? Do you think it's spicy, and what are the synergies? Is Cross-Site Detonator a good option for this deck? I think we need it. It just stinks because I think it takes up a lot of space, but you just lose to Ash. I feel like, I don't know if I'm being I guess I'm being overly paranoid or if I'm being realistic. So let me know. Stay tuned for the end of the week's video where hopefully I have all the cards in, and I'll see you then.